here, Wis.Gardener. I suppose some of you may have thought I was dead or something. It's been so long since I put any videos on. But we're still around, and this is our new toy. Freeze dryers, the medium size from Harvest Right. It's been working fairly good. A few glitches here and there. Bought it primarily for freeze drying foods and things that we could store for future use. And found out that they also freeze dry certain candies, and they turn out different, interesting. Skittles, Jolly Ranchers, and things like that. Luckily, I have somebody that can sell them for me. So lately, we've been using this more for that than for what the original purpose was. Well, anyway, today we went up to a blueberry farm, a blueberry haven. It's up about maybe 35 miles away from where I live here in central Wisconsin. Anyway, so today we're going to try blueberries. One of the things about blueberries I've been reading is they don't freeze dry well, or they take a long time because of the skins. You have to puncture the skins. Now there have been different things. You can buy a little tool that you roll over them. You can freeze them first, and then you can put them in not a blender, but a food processor, and just pulse it a little bit to break the skin, and then freeze dry them. Well, didn't have time for either one of them. Some say they take needles and poke holes in them. Well, I'm not going to do that. That'll take forever. So here's what I came up with today, just a little while ago, and we're going to try this and see how it works. Okay, these blueberries are fairly early. They're totally ripe, really nice, good size to them, if you can see that. And finally figured out we got this little fork here with 3 prongs, and all I'm going to do to break the skin is just take them, I'm going to stab them like that, and put them on my trays. And I'll be putting a single layer on this tray. Got 4 of these trays that will go into the freeze dryer. And I don't quite know how long this will take. Freeze drying fruits and vegetables, things with a lot of moisture, can take 24 hours to 36 hours, and some people say it even takes longer. I'm going to freeze dry these at about 125. Now this is interesting. This is freeze dryer, and then you're going to say heat. But I'm going to freeze dry it. It's going to get down to about 10 below. Freeze all these in the freeze dryer. And once it reaches that temperature, the vacuum pump is going to turn on, create a vacuum in that freeze dryer chamber. And then the trays, where they fit in on the tray holders, those have heaters in them on the bottoms, or the tops, whatever you want to look at it. Anyway, and those will heat up, get up to about 125 degrees. You don't want to cook the food. Just want it to get warm enough that the water, they kind of like start to defrost, but not really. What happens is with the vacuum in there, the water will sublimate. In other words, it never turns into water, it turns right into a vapor or a gas form, actually. And then that condenses on the sides of the drum in there, so we'll have a coating of ice. So I'm going to finish doing this. I'm going to put them in. I'm going to have 4 trays, I hope. I know I will. I put a few blueberries. And we'll come back and see how they turned out. Well, I just got out of bed Sunday morning, came down to check blueberries. The machine says process complete. And looks like it took probably 30 hours. There's a setting on here where you can go with extra dry time. What happens is once it reaches the time that it thinks it's done, it's going to keep running for another 2.5 hours, just waiting for you to come down and check it. Doesn't shut off then, it stays on. It's going to give me the option of more dry time if I don't think these blueberries are ready to go yet. So on the side of the machine here is a drain. And this drain also allows air to come in to relieve the vacuum in the machine. So we're going to do that. I'd never get that door open if I didn't. So open that drain, and I'm able to check the blueberries. And see if I think they need more time. I'll show you this drain time thing here. See what we got here. that's the information I have right now. And there's, again, no defrost, defrost, more dry time. I'm going to use the defrost because I gotta get this thing up and running and do some candy now. But no defrost, the machine just completely turns off, and the ice will just defrost just naturally. Defrost, well, what happened there is the tray, where we got the trays set in there, those heaters stay warm. Those heaters stay warm, and it'll defrost faster. Alright, the vacuum's been relieved. Open the door. Now there's another, I don't know if you noticed up there, it says warm trays. I'm going to warm the trays. Oh yeah, they're done. Most of them are done. So we're going to warm the trays and let them warm up a little bit. The reason for that is we don't want to take these out when they're cold into a humid environment. Otherwise, humidity is going to condense on those blueberries and cause a problem. So we're going to warm the trays. Warming trays, that's about a 15-minute process. So we'll let it warm up and then we'll check later. Okay, I had the camera off for a few minutes. I kind of moved all these blueberries around in there, made sure they were loose in the pan, and shook them up a little bit to make sure that there was more area exposed that wasn't exposed to the drying process. And all what I got to do to get this going again, make sure I close this valve on the side, the drain, otherwise it won't get no vacuum. And we go back up here where more dry time, and it's going to default to 2 hours. That takes a second here. I heard it clicking, so it's going to, yeah, 2 hours. So I'm just going to leave that run for 2 hours, and then I'll come back and check them again. I got some other stuff to do anyway. So and that's all there is to it. The pump comes back on, it creates a vacuum. These trays are going to start heating up or doing whatever they need to do. And hopefully we'll get any extra moisture that's in there that might not have gotten out. Alright, we're back. Blueberries are done. That was 34 hours total. I'm going to shut the machine down now. What I'm going to put it in is defrost mode. I want that to defrost as quickly as possible so I can get some other stuff going. I'm going to weigh this to see what we had. We had 5 pounds going in. I'm going to put them in these glass jars for now. Maybe later when I have time I'll put them in some Mylar bags. So, zero that out, put my large funnel on top. Try not to spill any. Hard to spill. Had a gallon, that was about a gallon that went in there, 5 pounds. So hopefully 2 of these will fit them all in. 2 jars. Battery's getting low, hopefully that's not going to run out on me. Alright, take that off. 6.2 ounces on that one. And fill this other jar up quick. Shut that off. Okay, so we got 5.7 ounces on that one. 11.9 ounces down from 5 pounds. 5 pounds. I think that's something. So what I'm going to do now, we'll put a cap on. You have a food saver. One of those vacuum packers, you got the top like this for jars. You don't need that great big food saver unit. You can get one of these. It's got a cap on there. You can get some bags that fits on. Otherwise, you pull that off. Got a little nubby here. That goes in there. Press this top down and suck the air out of there. And it takes a little while, but that thing works pretty good. It's charged up now. Holds the charge quite long. Can't quite hear it, but it'll start changing tone as the air comes out. Pop it off. Cover's on good and tight. So I'll do the other one, and that's it. Show you where you can get this stuff if you don't have it. A really handy little outfit. We use it in the kitchen all the time. Food saver. You got these caps. You have the plug, the hose that plugs in there into your food saver. I hardly ever use that because who wants a big food saver sitting on your countertop? We got a whole bunch of other stuff there. This way you only need one of these. We use it a lot now with different things that we want to keep fresh.